For certain older jazz heads thinking of their beloved genre, the image that comes to mind is of custom Italian suits and smoke billowing through crumpled clubs. There's likely a guy with an instrument in the foreground. Behind him is another guy keeping pace on a drum kit. For some jazz listeners, the music should have stayed here, stuck somewhere between the 1940s and 50s, before Miles Davis plugged in his trumpet, and before John Coltrane blew his sax to summon God. To them, pianist Herbie Hancock should have left funk to hippies like Sly Stone, and saxophonist Pharoah Sanders needed to cool it with the elephant shrieks. It's not just jazz purists who resist change. Across all genres, the struggles between tradition and the future has been unfolding in regular, repeating cycle. '90s hip-hop is considered the golden era when lyricists like Nas, Snoop Dogg, and Jay-Z come of age, and rap after that isn't seen as comparable. There's this notion that the music died after us, and those flare-ups arise when some younger rappers doesn't know Biggie lyrics, or he thinks rap began with the Lils and the Youngs. At every turn in music, there are people who resist change. But you can't bend culture by playing it safe. So it's not that jazz purists didn't want the music to evolve. Is that the new thing was quite different from the old, less reverent, less familiar, beholden to a new set of rules or priorities. Albums like Davis' Bitches Brew and Hancock's Headhunters blended jazz with rock and funk, paving the way for future anarchists like trumpeter Roy Hargrove and pianist Robert Glasper to work at the points where jazz met conscious hip-hop, neo-soul, and alternative rock. They ascended at a time when jazz wasn't so popular in mainstream music. Traces of it could be heard in the early work of The Roots and in sample form on records by A Tribe Called Quest and Diggable Planets. But as pop and hip-hop grew in demand, jazz faded from mainstream public view. That was until 2015, when rap superstar Kendrick Lamar brought new light to a hybrid of jazz and rap that had been happening underground. His second major label album, To Pimp a Butterfly, was an expensive collage of hip-hop, funk, and soul, with jazz firmly affixed to the center. That was due to Kendrick and Terrence Martin, a producer and multi-instrumentalist who studied under jazz great Reggie Andrews at Locke High School in South Los Angeles. Martin had been a guy that was a go-to guy for Kendrick and his label. Top Dog Entertainment since the mid-2000s, and for To Pimp a Butterfly, he tapped into his network of jazz musicians in LA and beyond to add brass, live bass, and keys to a wide-ranging palette of beats from the likes of Pharrell, Soundwave, and Flying Lotus. The goal, trombonist Ryan Porter once told me, was to dilute the 808 drums for a lush soundscape with musicians like Porter, Glasper, saxophonist Kamashi Washington, trumpeter Joseph Lomberg, and bassist Stephen Thundercat Bruner in the mix. Butterfly is easily Kendrick's most sonically ambitious album, and the one fans have the toughest time digesting, especially when compared with Good Kid, Mad City's cinematic sheen and Damn's club-ready bravado. On the surface, Damn isn't knitted to the jazz world the way Butterfly was, but Kendrick is no different from the likes of Miles, Coltrane, and Herbie before him. Though he rooted in rap, he pushes his art to unforeseen places, bending the culture to what he's doing. Like those icons, Kendrick has an innate sense of timing and space, giving his words the same weight that they gave their notes. On certain tracks like the hard charging DNA and Humble, he'll suffocate the music with rapid fire rhymes on Feel and Lust. He'll slide up and down the register to convey the right emotion for different sections of the beat. He knows when to surge forward and when to let it breathe. As a result, Kendrick is introducing jazz to a generation who might only know it through their parents or record collections. Listeners might not realize he's doing this when they listen to an album like Damn, even if they heard jazz more overtly on his previous LP. Like the legends before him, Kendrick challenged preconceived notions of what jazz is supposed to be, moving it beyond those who rather the genre stay in small clubs with cigarettes and martinis. He's a musician's musician with a keen awareness of what sounds good in the moment. Kendrick modeled his music to match his own expensive vision, essentially making a new instrumental framework to reflect the story of his own life. What Kendrick did is no different than what a band leader does. This, in essence, is jazz, the art of improvising, a high-wire act between like minds without a safety net beneath it. He's at the vanguard of this movement, proving that he, too, is a rule breaker, just like Miles, Herbie, Coltrane, Glassware, and Hargrove, who all took bold creative risks to push jazz into uncharted territory. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss content like this.